Sheffield United last season were one of the worst Premier League sides we've ever seen. They're one of only 4 teams to win 16 points or fewer in an entire season. They set a new record for the most goals conceded, as well as equalling the record for the worst goal difference in a season. It was a truly miserable campaign, and one that you would expect will take a bit of time to get over. But fast forward a few months and they're top of the Championship, unbeaten in 10 and 4 points clear of 3rd place. So how have they done it? Let's find out. I'm Ryan Dilks from the 2nd tier, and this is how Sheffield United have bounced back. One of the big reasons why Sheffield United struggled so much in the Premier League, which I felt wasn't mentioned enough, was the owner. Prince Abdullah has owned the club since 2019, but has been looking to sell the Blades since well before they even got promoted in 2023. One of the people he tried to sell to was a Nigerian businessman called Dozie Mabuse. He's since been accused of fraud by authorities in America, although he denies that. Another person who tried to buy Sheffield United was American businessman Henry Maurice. He's since been jailed for wire fraud. The long and short of it is Prince Abdullah was clearly keen to sell the club. So you're heading into a Premier League campaign with an owner who doesn't want to be there. That's not ideal. But then you also add in that they sold their best players in Iliman Ndiaye and Sander Berger. That makes it even worse. But then they also didn't get back young midfielder Tommy Doyle on loan, who was one of their standout players in their promotion season. Not great, is it? Sheffield United would go on to spend £55 million on the likes of Gustavo Hamer, Vinicius Souza and Cameron Archer, but overall you could make a fair argument that the team that started for them in the Premier League that season was weaker than the one they had in the Championship. So it was a season which was doomed to fail from the start, and even getting Chris Wilder back saw absolutely no upturn in their fortunes. The only reason why Sheffield United weren't relegated sooner was because some of the clubs above them had points deductions. Speaking of which, in April the Blades were given a 2-point deduction for the next season they had in the Championship because of money that they owed to other clubs. Now, the club blamed it on overdue payments which were also owed to them from other clubs, but it further increased concern about the financial state of the club despite being in the Premier League. The final thing to mention on their relegation is the players who left the club this summer just gone. George Baldock, John Egan, Chris Basham, Ollie Norwood, Ollie McBurney, Ben Osborne and Wes Fodringham. All these players left the club on free transfers. All of them had also been at the club for several years. That's 1,490 club appearances, which has gone out the door for nothing. A lot of experienced heads to lose in one go. So not only was it a disastrous season for Sheffield United in the Premier League, you could make a fair argument that they were in the most difficult position any relegated club has ever had coming back down to the Championship. But enough setting the scene for you. How have they managed to turn it around? Well, the first thing to mention is the transfer business. In May, Mike Allen was appointed as the club's new head of recruitment, and he has played an absolute blinder. Sheffield United sold the likes of Cameron Archer, Jayden Bogle and others for a total of £38 million. They paid just over £6 million for Michael Cooper from Plymouth, Harrison Burrows from Peterborough and Kiefer Moore from Bournemouth. They also got in Callum O'Hare, Tyrese Campbell, Jamie Shackleton and Sam McCallum on free transfers, as well as Harry Sousa, Jesseron Raksaki and Alfie Gilchrist on loan. So how have they done? Well, Michael Cooper has arguably been the best goalkeeper in the Championship this season, and as I've said previously on this channel, I believe will be involved in the England setup at some point. Harrison Burrows I ranked as my best signing in the whole of the Championship this summer, has been one of the standout left backs in the whole of the division. Tyrese Campbell's found his best form in years, scoring 6 goals in 14 appearances. Harry Sousa has been a rock at the centre of their defence and played a huge role in Sheffield United conceding just 11 goals in 21 games. And Jesseron Raksaki has proven to be a thrilling young player on the right wing as well. All of the new signings have contributed in some shape or form. The ones I've just mentioned have been the standouts though, but overall Sheffield United have without a doubt had the best transfer window out of any Championship club this past summer. They made loads of exciting signings with a focus on young English talent, and they didn't break the bank to do it either. In fact, they actually had the best summer transfer window in the whole of the Championship while making a £30 million profit. It's absolutely incredible. As well as that, they also kept hold of the likes of Gustavo Hamer, Vinicius Souza and Arnel Ahmedhodzic, 3 players who really should be playing in the Premier League. All in all, Sheffield United actually probably have a stronger squad now than they did in the Premier League last season. They lost some experienced players but used it as a chance to revitalise the entire squad. This video is brought to you by our good friends at SBK. If you haven't heard of them yet, then where have you been? SBK's comprehensive range of markets and exclusive offers makes it the best place to bet on the Championship this season. Whether you're creating an accumulator or customising your bet builder, SBK has got you covered. Don't believe us? Sign up today and find out. Another big reason why Sheffield United have bounced back though is the manager. Don't you agree, Chris?
Finally, I need to ask you.
No, you don't need to ask me.
You don't need to ask me.
I was going to ask you
You don't
a
need
little
to
bit,
ask me
mate.
though, do you?
Okay.
You don't need to ask me.
Look, I will be honest, I thought Chris Wilder was washed up as a manager. He was coming off the back of 4 pretty miserable seasons. His final season in his first reign at Sheffield United was a disaster. His time at Middlesbrough was very underwhelming, his brief spell at Watford was terrible, and he made absolutely no improvement in Sheffield United after coming in last season. He had developed a habit of falling out with people and moaning about referees eating sandwiches in front of him. But what he's done this season is remarkable. Firstly, changing the mindset of the players after getting thumped pretty much every week and getting them playing with confidence again is just so impressive. Secondly, they have been so tight at the back, just 11 goals conceded from 21 games, 14 clean sheets in 21 games. It's a complete far cry to being the worst defensive team in Premier League history. It does also help when you've got a top quality keeper in Michael Cooper. And finally, their game management has been astonishingly good. They've led in 17 championship games this season and won 14 of them. They've not lost from a winning position at all this season. That's led to them being incredibly consistent, only losing twice so far and only dropping points once at Bramall Lane. Chris Wilder has completely turned his career around. When he got appointed at Sheffield United last season, his stock was so low that I genuinely don't think many championship clubs would have taken a chance on him. He's proven a lot of people, especially me, very wrong. And the final thing is the club's ownership issues. After several months of negotiations, the club is set to be taken over by an American consortium led by Stephen Rosen and Helmi Al-Talki. The transition has taken a lot longer than expected, and despite concerns at times that it might not go through, it's set to finally be confirmed soon. Not only will it end the reign of Prince Abdullah, but it will also bring an end to years of uncertainty. So many of the club's issues from the past couple of years have come from the owner wanting to move on. It's really been holding Sheffield United back. This takeover gives Sheffield United the chance to start afresh, and even though they've been doing brilliantly on the pitch, imagine how good things can be when the off-the-pitch issues are also sorted. Essentially, it's been the dream 7 months for the Blades. It genuinely could not have gone much better. They ended the Premier League season embarrassed and with a good possibility of staying stuck in the Championship for quite some time. Instead, what's happened is they've been the best team in the league so far and have put themselves in pole position to get promoted, despite a 2-point deduction, by the way. They've revitalised the club and are set to get in new owners who want this team in the Premier League for years to come. What a difference a few months can make, eh? So there you have it. This has been how Sheffield United have bounced back after their disastrous Premier League season. Do you think they'll get promoted this season? Let me know in the comments section below. If you've enjoyed the video, make sure you like and subscribe for more content like this. I've been Dilks from the Seconds here, and we'll be back again very soon.